I'm Andrew Francis. I'm the manager of Australian Wildlife Sanctuary. I've been here for just over 10 years. Australian Wildlife Conservancy owns approximately 23 properties across Australia, Brooklyn being one of them. The property's 59,000 hectares and it has about 5,000 hectares of World Heritage rainforest in it. Brooklyn itself is very complex. It ranges from rainfall of about 4,000 millimetres down to about 800 millimetres in the west. So you've got heaps of different ecosystems. You also have a main road, a highway running through the property, which is our main source of ignitions later in the year, whether it be arson or cigarettes, I don't know. AWC do a lot of research on fire, and the main risks of fire is late season wildfires, which burn a lot more of the country, which takes out all those refuge areas for small animals. It takes out your big nesting trees and all that. So we're trying to reduce the effects of a late season wildfire by breaking up the country into smaller patches of unburnt country, basically. So if we do get a wildfire, it only burns a very small patch of country. So by applying fire to the country throughout the year, it gives us a varied age class of fuel, which allows all your granivores to feed freely on the ground, just the way it's worked over thousands of years. We also have Merry Farms and Mount Carbine inside of Brooklyn, and we have to protect them first. It's top priority for us. At Brooklyn, to manage the fires, there's myself and a land management officer. So we can conduct all the broad scale burning across the property, but when it comes to infrastructure burns, where we're burning against someone's paddocks and houses, extra people on board really helps, and we support the local fire brigade, and they in turn assist us in protecting basically their properties. Without their help, we wouldn't be able to do it so successfully. There's a fire break running around the township, and we do a 2-year rotation where 1 year we burn inside from the fire break into a road which goes around the outside of the houses, and then the next year we burn on the outside. The objective is to have a burnt break around the township, so when a fire does come, it'll just hit the burn break and go out. On Brooklyn, we plan to burn basically a third of the property every year, and trying to get that much burnt in a small window of opportunity is very hard. In the last 4 years, we've been fortunate to have a grader, which means we can burn later in the year a lot easier, which has sort of helped a lot with some weed species by putting a hotter fire into them. So that's helped tremendously to be able to burn off a graded break. You cannot plan 10 years in advance because things change so much, and you can't go from a prescribed burn plan that you'll burn in June the 3rd every year. You've just got to keep on assessing the country and seeing how it goes. It's hard to judge. I've only been here 10 years, but in that 10 years, things have changed a lot. It could be just a seasonal thing, I don't know. But it is getting harder for us to judge how the weather's going to be. You've got to be able to read the forecast maps and try and work out what's going to happen from them, because the broad scale district forecast isn't enough for what we're doing and the conditions we need. This year we didn't get a proper flood in the river, which has affected the way we use the river as a fire break. A lot of the little creeks which we use as fire breaks didn't get a proper flood either, so their effectiveness as a fire break is lessened, and we've actually pulled out of a few burns that rely on that creek holding a fire. The most important tool that a fire manager can have is experience. Experience only comes from applying fire. You will make mistakes, everyone makes mistakes, but that's how you gain experience.